Welcome back, everybody. Let's take a break with Stephen Shamus.
Good to see you, my friend. I see you repping old school Ace today.
Got it. I got the hoodie. Don't tell my current employer, but I'm still repping the oldie but goodie.
Listen, they run good shows.
Yep.
We ran good shows. There's a lot of promoters. Left Field runs good shows. Yep. You know, it's not a zero-sum game, Alex. There's a lot of good shows out there.
Yep. We all feed off each other.
Correct. More good shows, the better. Let me tell you something. I went to a baseball card show recently in Westchester, and it reminded me. I felt like I was in a time machine back to 1990. I felt like I was a 14-year-old kid again.
Was it in a hotel?
It was in a hotel ballroom.
Oh man, I miss those shows so much.
Tabletop flea market style baseball card show.
Nice carpet, decent lighting.
And like that's the way I remember it.
Yeah, you can go to the hotel bar for a lunch. You can have a nice salad lunch. Yeah,
totally
on the same place.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, what do we got today, Alex?
Oh man, we just keep hitting the great well of comic wealth, if you will. We're gonna talk a little Pip the Troll. Spoilers if you haven't seen Eternals, but I think we're about a month away. I think
you're way past. That date.
Some great news from the Disney Plus day a few weeks ago, the XMen Adventures. We're going to see that 90s fun X-Men cartoon come back. We're going to talk a little more Venom stuff because it never ends with Venom. We're going to talk Codex, who's a newer character, very interesting character. We're going to talk about one of my favorite shows of all time, Cowboy Bebop. And then we're going to end it with Marvel Boy, the Noh-Varr.
Yeah, a lot of mixed bag of stuff today.
A lot of stuff.
XMen Adventures we'll touch on a little bit more as we get there. But what are we going to start with today, Alex?
Let's talk Pip the Troll. Probably top 5 end credit scenes for me for the Marvel movies. Definitely.
Right, pretty wild end credit scene there. Yes. Pip the Troll. Who was the actor? I'm drawing a blank now.
It's Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt. Yeah, oh my God, so
what
funny.
A perfect casting.
So funny. Kind of looked like him. You know,
perfect. It was perfect. Absolutely.
It really looked like him.
Yeah.
Pip the Troll. This book doubled overnight, by the way.
Of course.
Doubled tripled overnight. And they just keep going up. Again, it's a tough book to find. So talk a little bit about the character, Adam Warlock, and do you think we're going to see Pip the Troll throughout with Adam Warlock, or is he?
I think you're going to see a lot of Pip the Troll, Star Fox, and this kind of space stuff. We said it before. I think the cameo in the End of Eternals is Pip the Troll and Star Fox, which is Thanos' brother. I think they're going to push really heavily into the kind of space stuff in the Marvel universe because it's just easy to do. It's more. There's a lot more characters out there. There's a lot more to do. And we've seen a lot of space stuff with Endgame and everything now, and Guardians of the Galaxy, and everything else like that. So I think you're going to see a lot, and I think Pip's going to be. You don't cast Patton Oswalt if you don't think the character is going to be around for a while.
Yeah, so I did a deep dive.
Yes, wow, a deep digging dive.
Yeah, I did a deep dive. There's only one thing I could really find on Pip the Troll right now that people want. It's a Strange Tales number 179, April of 1975. Alex, they pulled this out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's a late Strange Tales. This book was canceled and then re-brought back in the 70s, and these are those, and a lot of them are one shots. But there's a lot of Gamora in here, Warlock in here.
Right. So first appearance of Pip the Troll, Jim Starlin, story, cover, and art. Again, Jim Starlin back again. There are 38 9.8s. There are 94 9.6s, and there's 100 9.4. So it's not like completely rare, but it's still tough, low pop. A 9.6 recently sold for 800, a 9.8 sold for 1,100, but that was kind of right. It was probably sitting on eBay. It sold, and then So I think they're going to be at least 2,000. If a 9.6 just sold for 800, and the next 9.8 is going to be at least $2,000 on that one.
I'll agree.
So again, if we think it's going to be a storyline, I think you look for a nice VF 8.0, 9.0, 9.2 kind of copy and kind of get it graded. And you could probably find a lot of them not graded right now because, quite frankly, up until a month ago, they weren't worth getting graded.
Totally. I think there are some near mints out in the wild that you could definitely get pressed and send it away. I agree.
For sure. All right. What do we got next, Alex?
Yeah, the 90s X-Men coming back, the Jim Lee era, X-Men Adventures with, the announcement of them returning to the animated series these books took off.
So part of Disney Day again. And so I'm going to preface this by saying, and we saw it with the Captain Carter, and then the Captain Carter comic books is, there are 3 different series of X-Men Adventures. A lot of it is going to come down to if they pull any of the storylines, right? We've seen that with Jane Foster. We saw it with Captain Carter. The Captain Carter book exploded when that episode aired. So most of the issues are available for $5, $6, $10 raw. It might be worth it just to try to buy full runs, knowing full well that 95% of them are probably never going to be used in the storylines. But if they do use any of the storylines, those books will take off like a rocket ship.
Yeah, I mean, most of these books were pulled from the original series anyways, with a little bit of they added a little extra to it because it's a comic and not just a cartoon series. But yeah, I mean, if they start bringing some of this stuff back, maybe revamping it or retelling it or anything, these books, I mean, already these books aren't cheap because they're, again, we've talked about this in the past, they're kids books. They're meant for kids. The comic collectors in the 90s weren't buying these as perfect books because these were just based off the cartoon.
Right. So let's go in order. The big one is X-Men Adventures #1 from November of 92. There are 56 9.8s. There are 53 9.6s. There are 42 9.4s. A 9.8 newsstand just sold for 1,000. The regular books are 400, but those are on the way up. And then a 9.6 is about $160. You are correct. It's based on the original animated TV series, Ralph Macchio's story, not the Ralph Macchio from Karate Kid, Ralph Macchio, the editor.
The better one.
Marvel. I'm sure he never got teased about that.
Right. Forever. Still to this day.
And it's got the Steve Lytle cover. I actually like Steve Lytle's work. I think it's a little bit underrated.
I agree.
This wonderful Black Knight cover that was part of my dad's collection that he sold back in the day when my dad sold his collection through Heritage. And I always wondered what happened to that cover when they announced The Dark Knight. I was like, damn it, I wish I could get that one back.
I'm sure someone was very happy.
I've not seen it for sale since. Yeah, it sold probably for like $2,000, but that was like 7 years ago. It's probably worth 3 to 5 times that now.
Yeah, definitely. 10K. I think it would at least break 10K. Yeah,
for sure. Okay, so we got the pricing on that. It's 15 issues.
Yes.
The second series, volume 2, came out in January of 94. There are no 9.8s. There are 2 9.6s. It's about a $15 raw book. Again, Ralph Macchio, by the way.
Ralph Macchio. Yep.
It's a 13-issue series. And then volume 3 came out in March of 95, about a little over a year later. Again, it's a 00 on the census. A $5 raw book. Again, a Ralph Macchio story. It's 10 issues. Again, I would look for which characters, which storylines. And you're right. If they do all new stories, all new characters, maybe it's just the issue 1 from 92 that takes off. But at $5, $10, $15 raw, I don't think you can go wrong buying these.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, what do we got next, Alex?
Yeah, let's talk about Codex. Your favorite Venom character.
Yeah, by the way, there are about 40, almost 40 different variations of Venom 27.
It's almost as if somebody knew that this was going to be a big book, so they decided to sell it to other stores and stuff.
Right. So obviously Donny Cates, we talk about him a lot. Who is Codex? What are people seeing in this book? And then we're seeing some very large price increases in some of the cover versions of some of these books.
Yeah, I think what you're seeing here is a Venom tear. Anything that's a first appearance, anything that is a key book in this run, people are just snatching them up. Codex is Dylan Brock of another universe, another Earth. He, instead of being just the son of Venom and eventually the Venom in the Marvel books, he is kind of a villain. He is able to grow his own symbiotes and kind of takes over his Earth, where he finds he gets in touch with a Matt Gargan, the Scorpion, has a bunch of like anti guns and anti symbiote weapons. Codex from Earth 1051. Codex from 1051 takes these, wants to go to Earth 616, which is the regular Dylan Brock, and he wants to go there and take it over and kill that Dylan because he has a better life. So it's a villain of the Venom universe, and people just are looking for all that stuff.
Got it. And with the time travel that we're seeing, who knows, right?
Yes, exactly.
So we're not going to talk about the 30. Let me see, 34 to 296, 38, 39 different versions.
Yeah.
We're just going to talk about the ones that are really escalating, because we don't need to talk about all 30 of them. So Venom, we'll talk about the basic cover first. Venom number 27 from October 2020. It's actually Venom number 92 on the legacy numbering. First full appearance of Codex. Virus also is in it. Donnie Cates story, Juan Gedeon art. 472 9.8. That's about a $50 book. Now let's get into the more expensive books. There's a Clayton Crane variant cover A. 100. Now I'm going to do gold labels because Clayton did a lot of signings on these.
A lot of signings and sketches.
So we'll go through the gold. So we'll go through the gold labels. 150 blue label 9.8s, 289 gold label 9.8s. That's about $100 book. Then there's the variant white American flag cover B. The American flag is draped over Venom, and it's a white background. Cover B, 81 blue label 9.8s, 242 gold label 9.8s. That's about a $215 book.
It's not cheap.
Then there's the black virgin cover C.
Yep.
Which again, it's got a black background instead of the white background. 57 blue label 9.8s, 244 gold label 9.8s. That's about a $250 book. And then there's the white virgin Venom Carnage cover, 16 blue label 9.8s and 135 gold label 9.8s, and that's about a $125 book. So the big one there is the black virgin cover C. Jeez. Then I want to talk to the one that's limited to 700 copies, which was the Gabriel Dell'Otto Scorpion Comics blue cover, NYCC comic edition, 59 blue label 9.8s, 8 gold label 9.8s. That's about a $225 book in 9.8, and it's about a $60 raw book. There's only 700 of those. There's only 500 of the Inyuk Lee cover C blue virgin cover, but for some reason those don't sell for a lot of money. I'm not sure why. Then you've got the John Boy Myers variant error edition. Okay, so there's 120 blue label 9.8s. There's 27 gold label 9.8s. That's a $700 book. So that one is very, very hot. $100 raw plus.
Yeah.
Then there's the John Boy Myers virgin edition. 119 blue label 9.8s, 70 gold label 9.8s, and that's about $150. Then there was a Diamond Previews edition by Juan Gedeon cover, 129 blue label 9.8s. Those are $90. Then the last, the Tyler Kirkham did a whole bunch of covers. The G cover and the H cover are impossible to find. I can't even find them raw. So they're sold as G and they're sold as H. So you could take a look for them. I don't know where you're even going to find them. I don't know if they're in the Tyler store, but if you could try to look for them, they're impossible to find graded or raw. So they must have 500 to 700 print runs on those.
Yep.
And then they have the Gabriel Dell'Otto Unknown Comics Edition, 98 blue label 9.8s, 5 gold label 9.8s. That's about $100 book. And then the Dell'Otto Unknown Comics Virgin cover, 128 blue label 9.8s and 21 gold label 9.8s, and that's about $115 book. So like I said, we didn't touch on all of them. The two that you really got to look out for, the Tyler Kirkham G and H. Maybe if you see Tyler at a show, maybe he's got them.
He might have a box of them.
Yeah.
We're just behind.
And now Alex's pick of the week. What do you got for us, Alex?
So Spider-Man tickets just went on sale. And now they're sold out, and I don't think many people were able to get them. And it made me just wonder, like, in the world of digital tickets, you don't have your tickets anymore. I mean, I buy everything off the website, scan it at the movie theater, and just go in. I don't usually get the movie tickets. But I was looking the other day, I was like, what we really need is to find like movie tickets from movies that already came out, like Star Wars. I was like, let me check out. ticket stubs for Star Wars, and lo and behold, there's a few of them on eBay. Not many at all, but like even like Star Wars, episode 1 from 77, pair tickets, used tickets go for like $30. Episode 3 from like the 90s, early 2000s, tickets are going on sale for, they're like 10 to $15, and that's not that long ago. So it's just interesting to see like what people are willing to do. And I am a terrible hoarder, obviously, and I keep all my movie tickets. So I have all my Star Wars movie tickets that I've seen in the movie theaters, special editions, prequels, sequels. So yeah, it's just fun. There's something to say about someone that has like the original tickets to a movie they love that they can frame and hold on to from their local movie theater.
Yeah, I used to collect all my concert tickets when I was a kid. The ones that are really valuable nowadays, I dabble a little bit with Super Bowl tickets that are signed. If they have this person's first game, this person's 3,000th hit, this person's 500th home run, those could be pretty valuable, especially if they're signed by the athlete. So that's actually interesting. I never thought about that, but yeah, I guess it would be cool to have some of the original tickets.
Yeah, especially now that movie theaters are kind of going out the door. If you have a bunch of original ones from like your childhood movie theater, I'm sure those are nice keepsakes.
Right. I like that. That's an interesting one, Alex.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, cool. All right, what do we got next, Alex?
Let's talk Cowboy Bebop.
So this is hot
show. Yeah.
It's hot. It just seems that there's an invasion of these kind of shows on Netflix now. First we had Squid Game from a Korean show. Now we have Cowboy Bebop. These shows are ranking very, very high on Netflix. So talk a little bit about Cowboy Bebop, and this book is on fire.
Yeah, I mean, Cowboy Bebop was an anime series that came out right around when you're first getting like the Adult Swim era of Cartoon Network. So like you're talking like late 90s, early 2000s, maybe earlier than late 90s. But I mean, as an anime, I think it goes down as everybody's number 1 or top 5. It's a very popular anime. Had a beginning and had an end, and it wasn't 40. It's not 1,000 episodes. Like One Piece is still going on 1,000 episodes. They never went back to it and did more episodes. They did a movie, and then it was it. It's just one of those things that everybody loves. And then Netflix decided to do a live action adaptation, which kind of retells some of the anime, kind of adds a little extra to it, adds some extra stories. And I love it. I think it's great. I mean, you can't. When you read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and then watch the movie, obviously they're not going to be the same, but you can take the fun for both of them. Same with like Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins has a bunch of books. The movie and the books aren't alike, but you can love both of them. And this is one of those things. And I think a lot of people really like what Netflix did to the show.
Yeah. So this book's on fire.
Yes.
Cowboy Bebop, Tokyo Pop 2002. First appearance of Spike Spiegel, Faye Valentine, Jet Black, Ed and Ein. It's a Yutaka Nanten story and art. There are 10 9.8s. There are 10 9.6s.
Wow, that's very
those books.
Low.
Yeah, those books are selling for $1,000 plus if you can find one. But even raw, they're tough to find. I would kind of get one in any high grade that you can and get it graded now because those books are on fire.
I agree. Crazy.
All right, cool. What are we closing up with today, Alex?
Yeah, let's talk about Marvel Boy.
Noh-Varr, right?
Noh-Varr, my favorite Grant Morrison Marvel collaboration.
Yeah, Grant Morrison. That's
Early.
Right. Okay. Yeah, 2021 years ago, Grant Morrison. Wow. Yes. Okay, so talk to me about this book. Why is this book going so crazy, Alex? It's a 21-year-old book.
I mean, the chances are we're going to see him. I mean, the Krees and the Skrulls are here in the Marvel universe. They're not going anywhere. It's getting crazy. It's getting cosmic. You got to start bringing in all the Captain Marvels, and I think this is a good spec book to get. This is a Grant Morrison, created a character, and we all know Grant Morrison's characters are used very heavily. Very weird Marvel boy. I mean, kind of in that Captain Marvel world, but he is a Kree, and he's got like his powers are very weird. He's got insect DNA, so he can do, he's got enhanced reflexes and strength and speed. He can do this thing where he can take his mind and just kind of like almost hyper focus on one thing. He can take away his physical pain. He can suppress, if someone drugs him up, he can suppress that. He can, it's very odd. He's also like Matter Eater Lad from Legion of Superheroes, where he can like eat anything. Just a very odd, interesting character that, I'm sure Grant Morrison just, when he created him was like, yeah, this is just going to be a quick Marvel Knights run, in and out, see you later. And this character's been in the Marvel universe in the comics for a while. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, sounds interesting. Insect DNA and all that other stuff sounds like it's right up the Marvel alley for being used. So you think Captain Marvel 2? You think that's where
I think somewhere in the space stuff. I mean, we're going, like I said, we're going heavily space stuff. I think we're going to see him. Got
it. Okay. Marvel Boy #1. It's August of 2000, 66 Blue Label 9.8. That's about a $500 book. There's a Dynamic Forces edition limited to 4,000 copies. It's got a J.G. Jones cover on it. There's only 13 9.8s, and that book is over $1,000 now. Woo! I know, it's pretty crazy. So, all right, we thank everybody for joining us this week. We really appreciate having you. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them in the field below. Otherwise, we will see everybody next week, same bat time,
same bat channel. Thanks, guys.